So in these next few videos, I will be showing you forms of spinal decompression. And yes, it's this weird. Stay tuned right now.
Feeling a bit tight? I bet you are. Because you are compressed. Not depressed, but compressed. And in this video, I'm really explaining decompression of the spine and how it can really take away back pain. It can help your posture, and it can actually help energy, digestion, and the rest of your bodily functions. So let me explain why we need to decompress our spine. Now, if you think about it like this, and I will use a nice demonstration for you. Meet Spiny. This is my little visual representation of the spinal segment. These little wood blocks, as you can see, are supposed to represent vertebrae, the bone structures within your spine. And this little sponge in between is supposed to represent a disc. Now, what happens is, throughout our days, whether it is gravity and Mother Nature putting pressure on us, or poor posture, or external loads that we place on our bodies, such as barbells, performance squats, various exercises, even having book bags, heavy book bags on our backs. There's various forms of forces, as you can say, that put compression down on our spine. And what that would really look like is this. So you have your nice little spinal segment, you got that little movement in between, and you get pressure and compression within it. It's really beautiful how the spinal segment is designed, because it's designed to do just that. Take the pressure from life. And it really helps protect the vertebrae in between. The issue is, modern civilization is really de-evolving the human body. And what I mean by that is, throughout our daily lives, we have more compression placed onto our spine than we do decompression. And that is why many people suffer from back pain, poor posture, poor digestion, poor motor control. All these kind of root down to compression on the spine. Because a little quick anatomy lesson, our spine is covered in nerves, and the biggest being the vagus nerve. And this nerve controls digestion, a lot of our autonomic responses within our body. And what happens is, when we have a lot of compression on the spine, it puts pressure on those nerves, which really affects the signals from the brain to the rest of the body. So, besides taking away a little bit of back pain, decompressing the spine can do so much more than just make you feel a little bit better and stand a bit taller. So, I'm going to show you a few little things that you can do, and the first is being decompression breaths. So, instead of compression, we're going to decompress and give our spine some love. So, let's jump into it. The first thing we are going to do that I will show you is my favorite and, quite frankly, the most simple method of decompressing the spine, which is decompression breaths. Simple enough, right? Well, I will show you. So excuse my pastiness, because I've been locked inside working on videos all the time, but don't worry, summer's here, I will get a bit tanner, but that's not the point of the video. So, decompression breaths. How we start is, you want to place your hips just standard width apart. It's not your feet placement, just have your feet parallel from each other and have a nice strong stance. You want to squeeze your glutes so your pelvis is not overextended and it's not too far forward. You just have that nice neutral pelvis. Spread the feet apart as if you're trying to rip the ground and make a big old crack like you're creating a Grand Canyon between your legs. And we are going to do a little hang 10 symbols. And what these do are going to be little regulators to see where your rib cage is. Now, the issue is with a lot of people when they have poor posture, they don't realize that their rib cage has a lot to do with the way they breathe and how much pressure is on the spine. Because a lot of people may assume that they're standing straight when they have that proud chest and the shoulders back, yet they'll still have that rib cage tilted downward, which puts pressure on your lungs, puts pressure on your diaphragm, and makes it kind of harder to breathe. So you may actually think you're doing deep diaphragmatic breaths, but really you're kind of doing shallow breathing, and you may not know it. So I'm gonna explain and show you. Now, when you do the little hang 10 symbols, you want to find the top of your pelvis with your pinkies. So you take your pinkies, put them at the top of the pelvis, then take your thumbs and try to find that last rib on your rib cage. And everybody might be a little different, but once you play around and find it, for me it's probably right about here. You want to get back to that nice stance. Keep your head nice and tall. Imagine there's a string attached to the crown of your skull and someone's pulling that string up like you're a puppet. And that will help bring your head out of a jut and into a more neutral, more standard posture. So you gotta keep that head in line. Find that rib. And what we are gonna do is just do 3 breaths. It's really simple, it's not difficult. You can do these whenever, wherever. People aren't gonna judge, and if they do, fuck them. So, find that rib. We're going to breathe in nice and big, so through the belly. And if you're having issues breathing into your belly, just place a little pressure onto your sternum, which is right between your chest, and then breathe in. And what this will do is bypass your chest almost and fill up your stomach, which it really is not filling your stomach up, but it looks like it. And then you practice that a few times so you get used to filling your stomach first and then your chest with air, and then this exercise will become a lot more easier for you guys. So, top of the pelvis, something went in my mouth, those ribs, so nice and deep breath right into the stomach and then fill the chest. Now in this position you want to focus on tightening the musculature around the rib cage, and when we exhale we're going to hold this position. So pull your navel towards your spine, and then we're going to do it 2 more times. You can shake it out if your arms are a little tight. And you're going to notice when you do this that the distance between your thumb and your pinky will spread farther apart. And why is this? It's mainly because your rib cage is lifting up into that decompressed, pure posture position. Now, let me put my shirt back on and hide this pastiness for you guys. Okay, much better. Not much better, it's backwards. Now you're gonna notice with this exercise that your sternum will raise slightly, and that's part of it because you're filling your lungs up and you're lifting the whole rib cage up, which is taking pressure off those vertebrae and the discs. Now the best analogy I can place on this exercise is to imagine you have a balloon. Your lungs are like balloons, like a hot air balloon. And when you breathe in, you're filling that balloon up with air, and it's lifting the rib cage up, taking the pressure off the spine, and you're gonna hold it there release the air out of your lungs by pulling your navel towards your spine and exhaling, and then take another deep breath through the stomach, then up in the chest, raising it higher, and each breath should raise your rib cage higher, taking that compression off your spine. And if you practice these a few times in a day, you'll notice that what you thought was a good posture and a pure upright posture maybe was not. And it's really a great exercise. I would really highly suggest trying these 3 times a day, just 3 breaths if you can, and really open up and lift that rib cage, take the pressure off the spine, and you will feel better. So if you enjoy it, please subscribe, and in the next few, so you can't have too much coffee because then this happens. It's horrible. But in the next few videos, I will discuss other forms like suspension, and yeah, suspension is the only one I can think of, but there will be more. So check it out and keep on keeping on, and I'll see you guys next time.